Assalamualaikum, I'm HAFIZAH binti FISAL. We'll start the presentation. For the background of the study, Islamic banking was established in Malaysia in the 19th century, and the first Islamic bank, which is Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. From time to time, Islamic banking showed positive increase in popularity. Other than that, there are studies shows that most people don't apply for Islamic banking due to a lack of awareness and understanding of the benefits of Islamic banking and finance. Many people are not aware that Islamic banking's products are interest-free and a profit sharing between Islamic bank and customers. So, university education is important in increasing the awareness and understanding of Islamic banking and finance. In short, this study aims to identify and conclude the effect of university education on the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. It examines how the university education impacts the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. 1.2 Problem Statement. Firstly, highly competitive landscape, possessing talent or human capital. Secondly, the scarcity of faculty members specializing in Islamic banking. Thirdly, investigate if the emerging talent is capable of fulfilling the requirements of the banking and Islamic finance sector. Fourthly, organizations have stringent criteria for accepting students for practical training. Lastly, lacking proficient individuals who have the expertise to cultivate talent. 1.3 Research questions. First, what is the knowledge about university education regarding the adoption of Islamic banking? Secondly, to what extent do students' behavior respond to the application of Islamic banking in Malaysia? Thirdly, how the impact of university education on the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. 1.4 Research objectives. First thing first, to identify the impact of knowledge in university on the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. Next, to examine the effect of students' behavior on applications in Islamic banking in Malaysia. Last but not least, to conclude the effect of university education on adoptions in Islamic banking in Malaysia. 1.5 Scope of the study. The first thing first, the study will concentrate on university students who are unclear about Malaysia's adoption of Islamic banking. Secondly, the research proposal's methodology includes collecting qualitative data. Last but not least, this research will investigate from various aspects in the use of banking in Islamic adoption that exists in Malaysia only where university education has an effect. 1.6 Significance of the study. The effect of university education on the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. Give an effective understanding can change their views in Islamic banking. Secondly, users can be analyzed in many aspects according to how they choose Islamic banking that they prefer. Next, introduce the benefits and strategies offered by the Islamic financial sector to consumers through educations. Finally, identify how the way of education that is taught positively and negatively affects the behavior of university students in making the right choice towards Islamic banking in Malaysia. 1.7 Definition of terms. From this study, the definition of university means an institution of higher learning that aims at the extensive intellectual development of its students. The justification that can be stated above is that the university is one of the places that can create a generation that has a first-class mind in terms of thinking, personality, and academics. The definition of education that can be met by this study is that education teaches people to think logically and rationally, see many sides of an issue, and analyze problems and solve them. The reason why this study states the following definition is because education can be linked to a person's way of thinking rationally and critically in doing something. Last but not least, Islamic banking refers to the banking system or banking activities that are in line with Sharia principles and guided by Islamic economics. This can be justified that the application of knowledge in universities about Islamic banking in Malaysia is highly encouraged. 1.8 Organizational of the proposal. An outline of the study was presented in Chapter 1. It provided the background of the study, problem statement, research questions and objectives, scope and significance of study, definition of terms, and organization of the proposal. Chapter 2, it will focus on the literature review, previous studies, underpinning theory, which is theory of client behavior, research gap, and conceptual framework. In Chapter 3, the research methodology of the study will be explored in specific, for example, research design, data collection and analysis methods, reliability and validity, and research process. For information, this research uses the qualitative study. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Ho Sing Lee and my metric number is 8182497. In this previous study, we evaluate a literature from a previous study by a past researcher that related with our topic. So in this research, we have found 23 strong articles and referred in the literature review that's suitable for our topic. So in here, we investigated a system about our topic. The first is knowledge. According to Mustafa and Muhammad, is saying that is a key to achieve objective and resolve issue and able to make reasoned decisions and also have a positive and negative individual behavior. Next is the Muhammad Sapir is agree with this, is saying that the financial knowledge is crucial for students to grasp the underlying the concept of finance and ability to use such knowledge in certain financial situations is referred as financial skill. Next, Mulandari and Shriyaningru is argued that the process of an individual developing curiosity in certain situations can lead to the acquisition of this knowledge. Even the child jurist Sabat and Muhammad Makmur Habib is saying that a student have a greater understanding of knowledge about the conventional banking concept and terms. Next, in Nasari and Sharufuddin is statement that this effect of knowledge they need to know about Islamic banking products such as Muraba, Ijara, Musyarakat, and Mudaraba. But the Cardo is saying that who asserted the information about how university education affects a student in Islamic banking has been understood by someone using their own framework, background, and experience. Next is Anyati is state that there is a deal of data regarding the impair reported that has not been truly examined. So we believe that this knowledge is university education can influence on students studying in Islamic banking because students have a little exposure about this Islamic banking. The second is level of awareness. By Muhammad Sabah, it's believed that they need to link the knowledge behind their financial transitions and student awareness level play a significant role in their financial success. By Muhammad Abati is saying this individual level of understanding has a significant impact on customer decision to utilize a Malaysia Islamic banking product, but Islamic banking should be promoted on a larger scale so consumer or the new customer have awareness to understand and attract more about Islamic banking. Next, Kataria Nasari also agree with it in saying the awareness need to refer to how much a customer knows or don't know about Islamic banking. So from this, they are able to comprehend the idea of Islamic banking service and product. After exploring the different opinion, we think that the level of awareness is a positive effect that university education can give to students to understand about Islamic banking as not only students will focus on conventional bank. Number three is attitude. By Mustafa and Muhammad is that this attitude has a positive value in halal product or services because from this can show a person ability to use in Islamic banking. Dami also support with this is saying that can influence how individuals behave in daily activity and make a decision to satisfy their needs and want. By Muhammad Sapir is also agree with this, which is the financial attitude is referred to how they consider things to respond to finance. Yusavi asked that this attitude also have a positive effect on the adoption of AI mobile banking. By Muhammad Abati is saying this is a main factor that can influence a person's performance on consumer behavior intention in Islamic banking. So from the opinion above, it can conclude that attitude is one of important items that university education has impact on its students because it's given by education will influence the behavior and intention in Islamic banking in Malaysia. Number four is quality of services. In this quality of services, your survey is that the customer perception is related to the communication with bank employee, and the quality of this services can have an effect on user of Islamic banking. By Dawami is stated that using Islamic banking in Malaysia also involve the service quality of Islamic bank that can venture into a competitive market to show their level of Islamic banking quality to customer, so that will affect the loyalty and involvement of customer. It can conclude that the quality of services are provided by Islamic banking is very important because it's not only benefit user but also the feedback from the services will be disseminated to the public, so they can trust our Islamic banking. Number five is Sharia compliant. In this Sharia compliant, Dawami is opinion this will be provided by financial services to customers so that to know whether elements are interest, uncertainty, and gambling. By Muhammad Ahmad also agree with it in saying that it's not only applicable to the financial institution but also every individual Muslim. By Muhammad Abdul Mati Chowdhury also agree with this in saying that the Islamic bank function different from conventional bank because they are subject to Sharia law. But according to Sharia, will guarantee moral conduct in the efficient and equitable management of Islamic financial matter for the community. So consumer will be able to more confident in financial service since Islamic banking has adapted to Sharia compliant. Number six is travelers. In this travelers, Am Yusawi is opinion, this traveler is a security context that lower uncertainty. It's then promote mobile banking so client can secure and comfortable share their personal information in this industry banking. Even Dawami expressed it as an opinion, is merely stating those customer decisions to persuade Islamic bank to accept them as a sources of benefit and safety when using Islamic banking should be based on this trust. By Muhammad Ahmad also state this trust is a characteristic as someone who is honest and reliable. So by this travelers also will influence how customer behave when they are using Islamic banking, whether they are selecting a good or services or making decisions, and all of this has to do with the level of travelers that have Islamic banking in Malaysia.
My name is Gang Huiling, 81824883. First, I'll be presenting unpinned theory. The theory of planned behavior is an extension of the theory of reasonable action. In theory of reasonable action, only involves attitude towards the behavior and subjective norms. In theory of planned behavior, one more factor is added which are perceived behavior control. Attitude towards behavior. Attitude towards behavior relates to how positive or negative an individual evaluates the behavior in issue. Student understanding about Islamic bank is expected to influence their decision to save in this institution. Higher education institutions serve as forums for students to gain knowledge about Islamic banking concepts such as the prohibition of riba, the value of risk bearing, and the ethical investment. Students will learn about how Islamic banking conforms to ethical, moral, and religious principles by taking specialized courses in higher education. Subjective norms as the perceived expectation of significant person as well as the individual incentive to meet this expectation. Subjective norms can be shaped by professor, university promotion, Malaysia culture, and peer influence. For example, university that promotes Islamic banking through seminar, workshop, and collaboration with Islamic financial organization will help to enforce this variable subjective norm. Perception of behavior control refers to an individual belief about how easy or difficult it is to perform a particular behavior. In applying the perception of behavior control, university education have a huge impact on the perception of behavior control in various ways. Higher education institutions in Malaysia integrate courses, provide internship, seminar, and workshop, and influence student understanding of Islamic banking principle and the regulatory environment. This will be enhancing student perception of behavior control over adopting Islamic banking. Research gap is a study that has not been explored or deeply explored in the field. Based on the previous study, there are many terms that can be concluded. Firstly, previous study discussed about the factor influencing the intention to use Islamic banking service among the public. The factors that include are knowledge towards Islamic banking, promotion, attitudes, awareness, behaviors, and other factors. Secondly, there are several countries such as Makassar, Lumajang, Jawa Timur, and others that discuss the study related to the factor of student applying Islamic banking. Thirdly, study have investigated the factor that influencing the non-Muslim countries to adopt Islamic banking. Some study had studied about how non-Muslim or community will have interest to choosing Islamic banking compared to conventional banking. Fourth, there is study that explored the customer certification and performance factor in Islamic banking adoption among public, including the quality of service, the image of Islamic bank, a variable of service, trust, and Sharia compliance perspective, and others. In Malaysia, several studies have explored on the Islamic banking model, Islamic banking system, and the factor of public in adoption of Islamic banking. However, there are several research gaps in the research field. Many studies have investigated the factor of public interest in adopting Islamic banking globally. There are also studies that discuss the factor of student in the adoption of Islamic banking in other countries, but there is no specific discussion about the factors of university student interest in the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. Besides that, there is no study that investigates the main effect of university education in interest of students applying Islamic banking. Moreover, there is no study that discusses the reason of adopting Islamic banking in Malaysia among students. University student interest in Islamic banking can be created through their education background and process. Furthermore, there is no study had discussed how university education influences the adopting of Islamic banking. This research helps to understand is there any relationship between university education and the adopting of Islamic banking. It helps to determine whether university students that learn the course related to Islamic banking in finance have more interest in adopting Islamic banking products in the future. Therefore, this study aims to study the effect of university education in adopting the Islamic banking in Malaysia. By discussing to the topic, the research can clearly identify and state the major factors that influenced by university education that affect on student intention and interest in adoption Islamic banking in Malaysia. Next is consumption framework for our study on the effect of university education on the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. The framework indicates the factors have been studied which are present in solid line, and the information to be studied in this research is present in dashed line. According to literature review or previous study, university education have impact in knowledge and attitude, level of awareness, quality of service, Sharia compliance, and trustworthiness. This factor will significantly influence the interest of students in adoption of Islamic banking. Therefore, our study will investigate in the effect of university education on the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. Thank you.
For Chapter 3, I will present about the research methods. The first part is Introduction. Research methods, or how to deal which data this is located, gathered, process, and analysis will be the main topic of Chapter 3. This part will also cover research design, data collection, and analysis technique about the effect of university education on the adoption of Islamic banking in Malaysia. This chapter of the research study is sometimes referred to as the most important parts: the introduction, study design, data collecting, and analysis methods, the reliability and validity of the data, the research process, and this conclusion are all included in the overall of these research methods. The second part is research design. Research design is the field that focuses on the strategic planning and execution of empirical research. It encompasses the use qualitative methods for gathering data, including cross-sectional data collecting, as well as time and spatial field analysis. This research examines the influence of university education on the use of Islamic banking in Malaysia, taking into account various perspectives. In research design, we use research paradigm and qualitative research. First, research paradigm. The research paradigm is a theoretical of philosophical foundation of research activities. The research paradigm, as defined by PROF 2020, serves as intellectual framework of research. The research employs qualitative methodologies in the study. Interpretive research in qualitative approach is also employed as research paradigm. The second is qualitative research. Qualitative research involves many methods and belief making is difficult to define. Qualitative research requires of numerical data according on binary 2020. The research obtains qualitative data through focus groups, observation, case study, detective research, and exploratory research. And lastly, the study uses descriptive qualitative research. The next part is data analysis methods. The methods used in data analysis as a flow. First, content analysis. Content analysis is one of the techniques used in qualitative study in depth to interpret the content of the text by identifying the term of method of study. Second, document analysis of the term in qualitative research entails an in-depth evaluation of both content and organizations. Second, computer-assisted qualitative data analysis software. Computer-assisted qualitative data analysis or CADAS programs make it easier to use different research methods in analysis approach like Atlasity for enriching and analyzing quality data. According to Oken Smith and Lerham 2021, we can obtain all the text sequence to which a code or combination of codes was applied if we got a lot of interview. The last method is Atlasity. A popular computer application of qualitative research is Atlasity. The CADAS program generally includes Atlasity. It is a tool to make use to codes, analysis transcription, or even draw diagrams that connect various emergent concepts. And lastly, the primary goal of Atlasity to create tools that make coding process easier and categorize data according to visual and network of interpretation. The next part is reliability and validity data. Validity in research involves assessing how accurately information or knowledge measure something and how closely finding align with actual value or concepts. In this study, triangulation has been used by research to ensure the reliability and validity of data for the study of effect of university education on adoption in Islamic banking in Malaysia. Triangulation is important in ensuring the confidence and trustworthiness of the study by reducing likelihood of bias and strengthens the overall robustness of the study. The last part is research process. The research process involves multiple steps or action required in conducting the research reports. Each step or action is important and interlinked with other steps to conduct and effectively research reports. Lastly, the ninth step of the research process is to write the research report that includes introduction of study, literature review, research methodology, findings and discussion, and conclusion and recommendation. That's all from me. Thank you.